spring breakers overdosing. The culprit, first responders say, drugs laced with fentanyl.
An alarming amount of fentanyl overdoses involving young children.
Fentanyl.
A synthetic opioid that is 50 times more powerful than heroin.
Drug overdoses linked to fentanyl may surpass last year's numbers.
Drug dealers are mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl.
That's somebody's family that has just been devastated by fentanyl.
I didn't even know what fentanyl was.
Did we miss something? Was there something going on that we didn't notice? Did he need help? Was it an accident? Like, what happened?
This is a nightmare, and I wouldn't want any family to go through what we went through.
Junior was a beautiful light that was extinguished tragically. To know Junior was to love him, he had a heart of gold. I had the privilege of being his aunt for 23 short years.
If I had 4 words to describe Junior, I would say he was very selfish. To my siblings and I, he was always like a father figure.
Going to, let's say, the gas station, the grocery store to buy some snacks, I would tell him, you go grab whatever you want. And he would say, well, I can get 1 bag of chips and I'll share it with my siblings. And I'm like, no, get 1 for each of you. He was just that giving and never wanted to take more than he needed.
Family, man. He loved his family. He loved everybody, but mostly his family, all of us.
Lovable, man, for sure. He would always check up on us. He made time for each person. Sorry, there was my wife or my kids. I work out in out on the road. Text me every now and then, every few days, like, hey Theo, how you doing? So he just made sure he played his part for each family member, you know what I mean? As an uncle, as a cousin, as a nephew. He never came short off of that, for sure.
He was just a loving guy. He was just always there. He was always a big brother, almost a father to the rest of the kids. He put the kids before himself, or pretty much like that with everybody else.
Y nos llamaba después del trabajo, Grandma, ¿ya comiste? ¿O te llevo algo? Y yo decía, no, mijo, thank you, ya cociné. Oh, okay, so ahorita voy a comer.
Junior was actually one of my first family members to really be part of the videos. You know, it goes back where we're just making funny skits on Instagram or the family videos on YouTube, things like that. So he was always that cousin that I can always contact, like, hey, what are you doing, man? Let's do something, you know, let's film. This very selfless person. He would be the first one on call to be like, yeah, let's do it, man, let's do it. In the beginning of my career, building my career, he was a big part of that.
He always rooted for anybody that had a milestone in the family, and he was always excited for any type of progress anybody had. And for me, I think that says a lot about his character.
He was just the most beautiful person inside and out, the most genuine person you would ever meet. I feel as if the world lost a really beautiful soul.
Can you stop, please, and thank you? Yay! Good job, Mama. Good.
One memory that I have of Junior is, you know, you go get your toes done, and we would just mimic other people, me and him. It's like our own language, you know, we would talk back and forth, and it would get him upset, and that's what what me and Junior loved about it. It was our own thing, and it would get Dad upset. We had fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
When I first got my first apartment, had him and his siblings over spending the night at my house. The next morning, we made him like a big breakfast, my wife and I. And he's like, hey, uncle, can I get a coffee? I was like, yeah, go ahead. And pretty much he put like maybe like a 1/4 cup of coffee, the rest creamer. So I was just bagging on him the whole time after that for years and years to come. So I was like, hey, you like creamer or coffee? He's like, yeah, I like both of them, Theo.
He was my brother growing up. The last time I saw him was he came to visit. I didn't go camping with my family, just wanted to hang out. And that day we were with each other like the whole day, eating, laughing, playing music in the car. I cherish that for the rest of my life.
He would be the one to include us younger cousins, and I know like he would enjoy playing with us or just being around us.
Funniest memory that I would have would be just us playing our pranks, you know? I just feel as if we were the jokesters in the family, so he would always be the first one down, like, yeah, let's do it, bro. There'd be times where he wouldn't even want to do the videos, and I'd be like, bro, come on, man, this is what's gonna do it for us. There's a video in particular that I remember. I would pull up in the Honda Civic, man, and we would just be like, hey bro, let's just play some music and just vibe out, or do funny skits in the car and having funny conversations, joking around. He was always down for everything, and I love that about him.
So that day that everything happened, it was my son's birthday and we were going out of town to celebrate. My sister calls me and she says, something's going on at mom's, you need to get over there. And I am thinking like, oh, you know, I gotta go across town. So I call my mom and they're in full panic mode.
The day he passed was actually my birthday. All I hear is my mom on the phone. Eventually he said, something's wrong with Junior. I dropped everything, I run to my car, but then my parents stopped me. Waiting for like 5 minutes and then I just took off and left too.
I really couldn't understand what was going on. I actually thought maybe the kids were arguing.
My sister called me, she's like, hey, you know, this is going on. Made it over here probably like in 30 minutes or something like that. Afterwards, everyone was crying, and so I just seen that before I got off the car, I already knew what was going on.
Or when I got the news, it was me and my sister in the car. I got a phone call saying, hey, Junior's not okay. I think he's overdosed.
And everyone's outside. I go up there. There was such an empty feeling.
For some reason, it just felt as if I knew what already happened. I just had a feeling it was too late.
But my brother had been out of town. We're relaying everything on the phone to him, you know.
We got the call and of course right away we came home. The ride felt like 3 days and we were only maybe 4 hours away. And we didn't make it in time to get to see him. That's not a phone call you ever are prepared for.
Once they said that that was it, that he was gone, you know, I had to go to my parents and tell them. Then I had to come downstairs, stand outside of the front door because that's where all the kids were, and let them know. That was the worst, to hear his siblings wailing. You can't believe what's really going on. You can't believe it's happening, right?
Es una cosa muy triste. No quisiera que otras familias pasen por eso porque es una cosa muy triste.
It's just so surreal, you know, that seeing him being carried out through this actual living room that we are in now. This is a nightmare. And I wouldn't want, you know, any family to go through what we went through.
And you know what's sad to me within this? It's happening almost the exact same way, over and over and over again. I feel like he got robbed. He still had so much life to give. We have to do something in honor of his life and who he was. Something positive has to come out of this tragedy.
The biggest goal we have for Joelle's Foundation is to make sure that we actually have the opportunity to reach out as many families that we can that are going through something similar as we currently endured.
I would say our major goal is to make more awareness to everybody, all ages, that it could happen to anybody.
And the organization was created to help give awareness, education,
providing assistance for families who have had a loved one that died from fentanyl.
We would like to reach out to other families and help them if they are in a similar situation.
Fundación va a poder ayudar a familias de bajos recursos.
There are resources out there to help you with whatever you need.
If someone needs help, if they're suffering from addiction, help direct you to get some services.
Our foundation is trying to reach out to those parents in the event that they need assistance monetary in regards to maybe taking time if something tragic happens, meaning that they have their loved one in the hospital, you're not able to work.
For us ourselves, we missed work and our own family reached out to help us with dinner and to just help us and just be there just in general.
If we can help someone get through those first couple of days, weeks, I mean, we're more than happy to help.
The more people that we help out there, the more it reaches our young youth. If we're able to help at least one family, it would mean a lot to our foundation.
We're going to be available to everyone, also to bring a lot of awareness to everyone out there.
This foundation, it's a perfect representation of who Junior was. And that's something that we want to carry on in his name to anybody who would need that help. In a sense, it's like he's still helping after his passing.
We're there to support these families in order for them to continue on with life.
That's one of our main goals, is helping everybody get through one of the toughest times.
One piece of advice that I would probably give to other families, once you are aware of a circumstance or a situation, I feel it's best to talk to that person. Don't be scared.
If you see them start secluding themselves, question your children.
Darles mucho consejo a los muchachos, aunque a veces no es tan fácil, pero lo más que pueda uno.
In reality, you know, we don't know what we all go through in our minds, and we all have our own internal battles every single day. Just check up on whoever you might feel is down, sad, distant, whatever it may be.
Always just have that conversation with them. How are you feeling? How was your day today? Just anything small could kind of pull a conversation out of them.
Just be open and let them feel open and welcome to explain everything that's going on and not to judge them. You want them to have that open enough space to speak to you and tell you about what's going on before something does happen, you know.
Just love your kids, be there for your kids. It's hard to be a parent. We don't have a book. Just do your best.
Continue to talk to them. That goes a long way.
I think at the end of the day, family is more important than everything. Of course, we have to survive, but giving each other time, I don't think there's a cap to that.
Make sure that you socialize with your family members, whether you're doing good or not doing good. Just have the opportunity to be in the moment and be present.
Be honest, be straightforward, and be strong. It's the only advice I can give. Yeah.
Junior was a hugger, man. He was for sure a hugger.
A big teddy bear. This is something that my wife and kids talk about a lot. Like he was never short to give someone a hug or anything like that.
He never fails to go around the room and give you a hug.
If you didn't get a hug, he'd call you up. Hey, why didn't you hug me today? Like, what was up with that?
I have dreams of him hugging me, and I feel him. I feel my cheek on his chest.
He would give the biggest hugs out of everybody. That's how he was, you know, he had a big heart.
Junior, every time he came around us, he would always say, "Hi, Thea," or "Hi, Theo," and he always came and gave us a big hug, whether he arrived or left.
He would just come and give you a warm welcome, you know, big hug, like squeeze you, and you're like, oh man, you know, that's something that I can never forget. And I would truly miss. His love was genuine.
He's just a loving young man. Always willing to give out hugs, always willing to be there for someone.
He always had that comfort about him, his presence, his aura. We hope to spread that within everyone else who's interested in the foundation or whoever would need help. We can extend that bear hug to everyone who would need it. Yeah.